Hey friends, in the previous video we learned about query parameters and how we can use them inside our application. In this video we are going to talk about fragments in Angular. Fragments are basically a way to go to the parts of application or sections of our page in Angular. Like we can have the header section, the about section, the services section, etc. Then we can use fragments to go to that parts within that single page. So to use fragments in Angular, we can just have a content inside our home component. Like we can have a div where we have but first we will let's create an array of we will say programming languages, and then we will have the content for each programming languages, and for each programming language we will go to that section by fragments. So we will say programming language, here we will say JavaScript, and here we'll say Python, and here we can say C++. Now we will assign the content to each language. Like from here we can use the lorem ipsum. So first of all we will have to have the links for each. If we want to go to the Java section, then we will click on the Java section from our home page. So we will have to have some links. So here we will say let programming language programming languages. So here we'll say programming languages, and let's just say programming language. Let's first start our application and let's check whether it's working or not. And so they are working, and we can just wrap it inside our anchor tag. Or we can just wrap it. So they are here, and now we can use the fragments for each section. But before we will have content for each language, so we will have another container. Container class, and here we will have content for each language. So we will say and here we can just replace the A with H1. So they are visible for each section. So now the content will be we can just do it here. Fine. So now we will have sections for each in language, like the lorem ipsum text. So here we can say so this is the text for each language, but that's not enough for how we will scroll it. So we can just copy this and paste it 2 to 3 times. So now it's little bit we have JavaScript. So now we will use the fragments for here. So we will say fragment and here we will say what the fragment will be, like programming language. For each programming language we have the fragment, and here we will say router link, and it will be just this page, so we don't need to specify it here. And just we can say like the property binding here will say attribute.id is equal to programming language, so that the IDs will be for each section here, and it will go to that relevant section. Now to make it work, we will have to go to the app routing module, and here we will have to define some options, some extra options to the route for that, like for enabling the scrolling and fragment inside our application. So here we will say extra options of type extra options is equal to so here we can have just here we'll say scroll, so it is not an array, scroll position restoration is equal to enabled. Now scroll position enable means restoration means that we want to, let's say we want to go to the JavaScript part, then we have to go back also. So we will use scroll position restoration so that we can go back to the previous sections also. And here we will say scroll enables anchor scrolling and enabled. Anchor scrolling, like we can have here JavaScript, Java, etc. So that's for enable anchor scrolling, so that we can have the scrolling position smoothly. So we will have to pass the extra option inside our router module dot for root. So here we can just, and now let's go to the console, and let's say what's happening here. Failed to execute set attribute. So here we are missing this. So we have our links here, and when we click each section, you will notice that there is when we go to Python, then it will be like hash Python, hash Java, etc. But before that, let's style it a little better. And so here we will say position sticky, and here you'll say top 0, and just we can say the background will be yellow. So now it's a little bit beautiful. So let's go to sections. So let's say I want to go to the JavaScript section, then you can see it is going to that section because we have enabled fragments inside our Angular application, and as you can see, this has gone to the JavaScript section. And let's say we want to go to the Python section, then you can see it is going to the Python section. And let's say we want to go to C++, then it is going to that section, and here we have the fragment inside the application. So that's it for the fragments inside the Angular application. that enable us to go to the sections of that page using the extra options inside our application.